All right. Hey guys, welcome back to Sun Crypto. I think we're live, right? So welcome back to Sun Crypto. In today's content, we'll talk about BTC. We'll take a look at BTC on the macro view once again. Price action dipped below 40K last week, but actually this week, right? But bulls managing to push back up above the 40K. So we will take a look at all that good stuff to see if bulls gonna be strong enough over the next like a few weeks to basically regain control of the 21 EMA and all that good stuff. Okay, the MACD on the weekly, it is still positive, so we will take a look at all that in details, right? And basically our main topic, once again, just like just like I said in the description, right? When are we going to retest the monthly 50, all right, and all that good stuff, right? So let me make sure the sound is good before I dive into the analysis and all that good stuff. And we got a couple of moon boys. Hey, what's up, Pablo S Crypto? Thanks a lot for tuning in. Craig, thanks a lot for tuning in. I will take a look at Zcash again. Craig, I tried to explain Zcash in the premium group, but I couldn't put it into writing. So I'm gonna try to show you in a live live analysis. Okay, Zcash. It does have a nice correction in terms of WXY or ABC correction, depending on how you want to look at it, right? So we will take a look at Zcash later on. Okay. Tell in the house, thanks a lot for tuning in, guys. So thanks a lot for hitting the likes and all that good stuff. So now let's dive into the analysis. I know most of you guys don't have time and you only want to know about what's going on and all that good stuff, right? So when we take a look at BTC on a monthly basis, right? So we've been talking about the monthly basis over the last few months, since like actually November. Okay, if you guys recall, late November, we started to project the monthly 21 EMA. I know most of you guys was saying like Sun Crypto is crazy. We're too far away from the monthly 21 EMA, and he's talking about the monthly 21 EMA 35K. Okay, so 35K held well over the last 4 months. Okay, I would say 3 months, because right now it is April, the 4th month, right? It is still above the month of April. It is still above the monthly 21 EMA. So that's the type of price action we anticipated anyway. If you recall what we said before the dump down to 35. Once we hit 35, we don't know how long it'll take to basically break it. Okay, but once we break it, we know we could be headed down to the monthly 50, but it could take 3, 4, 5, 6 months, okay, before we break out below it. All right, a very good example is like what we had right here. I'm gonna excuse me, guys. Excuse me, right? So I'm gonna basically show you a very good example, right? A good one is right here. Okay, a good example right there, a perfect one. Okay, back in July, until November 2018, right, nearly 6 months, right? BTC was just above the monthly 2020 EMA. Okay, if you take a look at it right here, back in 2018, right? So we spent like nearly 3 to 5 months, depending on how you want to look at it, right? So 3 to 5 months before crashing down to the monthly 50 EMA, okay, or even below the 50 EMA, right? So if we go back to 2014, right, you can see right here, after the first retest, right, April 1st, right, we retested the monthly 2020 EMA, and basically, but we did not crash until basically October. Okay, so you take a look at it in terms of a time frame, it took like nearly 6-7 months before BTC decided to drop cleanly below the monthly 50 EMA right here. So you can look at it in different ways, but I think like the monthly time frame, right, it is much easier, and you're going to filter all the noise. I can show you like on the 2D time frame regarding the 200 EMA, but sometimes you got to remember one analyst can show you like one pattern, right, in like 10 different ways, okay, but all of them will be talking about the same thing. For instance, another guy might be talking about like the, you know, the 200 MA. We will talk about the 200 MA on a 2D basis. I don't talk about it much, but if you compare it to the current structure, or the 200 MA on a 3D basis, it is showing the same pattern, okay, where we capitulated right here, right, and capitulated right there, okay. But I think like the monthly time frame, it is going to filter all the noise, and you're just going to stay with the trend and not try to convince yourself with any other, you know, any other pattern, okay. So going back to our question, when are we going to retest the monthly 50? It is going to be a hard question, right, to answer, but one thing we could just focus on is like on average, right, it takes like 3 to 5 months to break the monthly 220 EMA before finally retesting the monthly 50, okay, if bear is going to break it at all. You see what I'm saying? So we did have 3 to 5 months right here, 3 to 6 months right there, and we got another right here, just about like a, you know, 5 to 6 months, okay. So it'll take at least 4 months to break the you know, monthly 21 EMA. So that's our 4th month, right? So if we do not break it, we could start to speculate, hey, it could be in May, it could be in, you know, June, July, we don't know, okay, but we could, you know, start to say, okay, it is time to be cautious until we get a clean breakout to the upside, take out the 52 and then take out 57. We talked about 57 in our previous live stream and all that good stuff, right? Why 57 is so important, because once we break out above 57, we don't have any other resistance to the upside, right? It is going to be zero resistance all the way up to 180, okay, all the way up to 180, all right, but it is going to be a macro directional movie. It's not going to get there in like 1 month. It could take like 6 to 9 or even 12 months to get to these prices. You see what I'm saying? So another thing also to keep in mind regarding BTC is like over the last 12 months, since like, you know, April 14th 2021, right now it is April 13th 2022, so 12 months, right, of sideways correction. And we know in general, right, it takes like what, 12 to 18 months most for the most, I mean most of the time 12 to 18 months for BTC to borrow. So what does it tell you? It is telling you, hey guys, we only got probably 6 months, okay, right, to finalize the sideways correction, or the you know, downtrend, whatever you want to call it, okay. But as of now, no one can call it a bear market. It is not a bear market. A bear market, right, you're going to continuously be making lower highs, okay, lower highs, okay. But right here we just got a recent high, right? So if that's your definition of bear market, BTC is not yet in a bear market, because that's our first pullback right here, and we're not even sure if this pullback right here is done, okay. We're not even sure, because it could even go all the way up to 57 and don't close above 57, something like that, right? But that's going to be a different topic. I don't want to focus on BTC going to a 57, 69 and all that good stuff, okay. But the main thing we just wanted to focus is like, hey, we've been moving sideways over the last 12 months, okay. Some of these alt, they're getting crushed like you know, 90, 97, 95, 98% down in the last 12 months, and BTC is only down like just about like a 30 to 35%, right here, just about 40%. But some of these alt, they are down like 95%. So should we give up on those alt? Okay, so you got to think about it. Okay, BTC is down 40%, so it is pretty much normal for these alt to dump like 80% or even 90%, some of them 95%, something like, you know, ALCX, okay, or ICP, just to name some of, you know, some of them, okay. So it doesn't mean like bulls got to give up, you know, the fight and just throw the towel, and basically market will capitulate, and the next thing you know, bang, okay, they pump like 100x. All right, so so sideways correction of the last 12 months, nothing going on. If you just focus on the macro scale, you know, BTC, it is still, you know, very accumulative. Even though we're looking for a potential retest of the monthly 50, it is not guaranteed until we break out below the monthly 21. So something to basically keep in mind, okay. We got to take out the monthly 21 to get like 100% confidence on the monthly basis that BTC will retest the monthly 50 EMA. In terms of indicator right here, we do, we do have some bearishness in terms of indicators. Our MACD, it is still negative, right? And we still got a negative divergence, right? It is still in play, right? You got your high right there, right? And you're creating low lows in terms of your basically your RSI, okay, over the last 12 months, since like March, April 2021. Okay, so I don't see anything crazy as of now for BTC in terms of like an uptrend. But once again, the short-term trade, like let's say 1 week to 2 weeks time frame, could be very, very volatile. But it doesn't mean, once again, BTC is in a strong uptrend. We got to basically take out 52 on a monthly basis at least, okay, before we talk about even like a 57, 59, and try to close above 57 on a quarterly basis. And then bang, we're going to start to talk about a 180, 180 to 200k. We talked about all these prices back in 2019, okay, when BTC was at 3 to 4k right here. We were saying like, okay, our next push to the upside for BTC going to be all the way up to like a $60,000, and that was like back in March 2019. Okay, so in BTC is now still above like a 40k and all that good stuff. So in the next like a 3 to 4 years, could we basically pump all the way up to 180, 300k and all that good stuff? Absolutely. Okay, but in the short term, we're still in a sideways correction and could definitely be retesting. I wouldn't say definitely, but the possibility of retesting the 50 EMA, it is still in play, and we will talk about it on a lower degree and all that good stuff. Okay, and also even a retest, okay, even a retest of the 50 EMA doesn't even guarantee a straight pump to the upside. It could retest it, right, push to the upside and retest it again for the second time before pushing to the upside. That's possible, but you just have to we just have to be very patient. If and only if we retest it, right, we will basically start to speculate regarding another reaccumulation down to the monthly 50 or 50 MA or 50 MA and all that good stuff, right? So let me take a look at the chat room to see if you guys have any question regarding BTC on the BLX chart, right, on the macro view. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Ciao. Thanks a lot for tuning in, man. 1 speed in the house. Second speed, 1 second speed. 1 second man in the house. Thanks a lot for tuning in, man. Jordan Miller, thanks a lot for tuning in. Hamza Moonboy in the house, thanks a lot for tuning in, man, guys. So, guys, I think like, if you're looking for those big prices for BTC, 100k, 200k, I'm bullish on BTC on the macro scale, and I've been saying it since like 2018, 2019, right? We will get to those prices, right? But it is not going to take like 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So I see like some people, like when BTC pumps like 1,000 point, they panic. When BTC dumps 3,000 point, they panic. Okay, so there is no need to be panicking if you basically reflect on what's been going on over the last 12 months. Okay, you think about it, over the last 12 months, BTC has been like in this range forever. Okay, 35k, 40k, 60k, 50k, and so on and so on. Okay, so no need to be panicking, just be patient. Your huddle position, you don't want to mess with it. Accumulate BTC. I said it, based on the Trololo trend line. Some of you guys been following me long enough, so you guys remember the Trololo trend line back in 2019 when I was talking about it, and I was saying like the trend line going to be in 3 years, it is going to be over 20,000. Okay, and as of now, right, let's see if I can. I don't have the I just don't have the the trend line to show you, but I can show you by calculation. Okay, for instance, right now it is at 22,800 range, and it is moving at a 1.13% on a weekly basis. Okay, so it means like every week, right, it increases 1.13%. it is not something new. So, you know, I've been following it since like 2018, right? And what I was saying back in 2019, I was saying, okay, BTC is at 3K. Okay, the trend line in 3 years will be above 22,000. And now, exactly, okay, that was back in March, April 2019. And now we're above like a 22,000, right? In the next 3 years, okay, so you look at another 3 years, right? You're looking at another, let's say, approximately 150 weeks, right? Because you got 52 weeks a year, right? Let me get my math right. 156 weeks, right? So in the next 3 years, right, you're looking at the trend line to be somewhere around like $130,000. Okay, so it means, you know, BTC got a potential within the next 3 years, right, to hit $130,000. And that's exactly what we said back in 2019 when the trend line was somewhere around like a 3,500 range. Okay, it was somewhere around like 3,500 range. Okay, and what we said was like, you know, in 3 years we will be over 20,000. And if you look at it, like back in 2019, it was right around like 3,500. 3 years later, you're looking at like 20,000, and right now it is, you know, it is exactly at 22,000, right? So something to keep in mind: if you're bullish on BTC on the macro level, you got a good hedge, right? I mean, you got a pretty good chance, right, to be you got a pretty good chance to see BTC, you know, above like 100K to 100K in the next like 2 to 3 years. Okay, because BTC most of the time it is way above the trend line. So let's say in the next 3 years, right, we're expecting the trend line to be somewhere around like 130, okay, 130K. So it means BTC will at least be above like 130, okay, at least will be above 130. Okay, so but I will talk about it in details. I will try to make a chart for it, right? But gotta find time for it, right? So let's go back to the chart, right? So now we're done with the monthly basis, right? We talked about the monthly 21, we talked about the monthly 50, we just talked about the trend line, and right now it is at 22,000, 23,000. And that's exactly, you know, what we said also back in 2019, right? We said the trend line usually, okay, matches the you know, weekly 200 MA or the monthly 50. Okay, and if you take a look at it right now, the monthly 50 MA, it is right around like 20K. Okay, so it usually matches the monthly 50 MA. Okay, the monthly 50 MA, it is right around like a 21,000 right now. Okay, so it's within like 5% of the monthly 50 MA. Okay, or you can use the weekly 200 MA. It really doesn't matter. They're both the same. Okay, monthly 50 MA or the weekly 200 MA. They roughly within like you know, within 2 to 3% apart, right? So now let's dive into the lower degree now. So now we will basically take a look at the 3 weeks time frame. Okay, so if you take a look at the 3 weeks time frame, you can basically you know, filter the noise. Okay, you might be like, hey, the monthly, you know, it is very slow. Okay, I can't see any pattern on a monthly basis, because the monthly basis, the only thing you see is like big candles, right? Like right here on our way up, you can see any correction. Okay, you can see like those flat correction we got like back in November. You can see it right here around like a, you know, around like 18,000, 19,000. You can't see it on the monthly. But now if you take a look at it right here, since like we got rejected at you know, 65K, that move was impulsive. This move right here, you can see like on the 3 weeks, it looks like a bear flag. It doesn't matter if you want to look at it on a low degree and all that good stuff, but you can clearly see it like right here. It is not easy to make a bear flag, right, on your 3 weeks basis. And at the same time, bulls regain control of the monthly you know, of the 3 weeks 21 EMA, but they losing it right now. Okay, so if they close, bears close the price below the 21 EMA, that could be pretty dangerous, right, over the next like a few weeks after that. Okay, because we're going to get a new candle on the 17th, right, on the 16th of April. Okay, so in 4 days, right? 2 days actually, because it is already the 14th for some of these moon boys. So in 2 days, right, we will get a new candle. So this candle right here closing below the 21 EMA could cause, right, some problem over the next like a few weeks after that, right? Yes, we do have some moving averages below the below the support area right here, but I will just focus on the monthly time frame in terms of moving averages, right? Because the 50 EMA on a 3 weeks basis, now it is above like nearly 31.8. Okay, so it is pretty high, so it is likely to join the party if we move sideways for the next like a few weeks, meaning like if we do not break out on either direction, it will basically be joining even the 21 EMA, right, on a 3 weeks basis. They could basically even cross negative or whatever they want to do. Okay, kiss each other or basically do whatever they want to do, right? So now let's move on to the 3D basis. Okay, so now if we take a look at BTC on a 3D basis, so the 3D, the reason why we've been moving sideways for so long, okay, and I just showed you the bear flag right here, or sideways correction on the 3 weeks, right? So on the 3 weeks you can't see anything. On a monthly basis you can't see anything, right? You're only seeing like big candles, and you just don't know how to read it. You're gonna be like, okay, how do I read these big candles, right? That's when you basically take a look at the lower degree to get like different patterns, right? So when you take a look at it on the 3D, my only concern, right, for the bears is like they got to get this guy, right, to turn negative. Okay, the MACD, it got to turn negative. Remember, if you are in my premium, or at least our public group, after we crossed negative right here a couple of days ago, what I said, the volatility is about to increase. Okay, the volatility is about to increase, and BTC dumped like from 43 something, right? Just about the 100 EMA. We will take a look at the 100 EMA on the hourly. We talked about the 100 EMA on the hourly in my previous live update, right? We said, okay, during the weekend the volatility could be low, but if it pushes to the 1 hour 100 EMA, right, it will be a rejection. Okay, and that rejection coincided with the negative crossover on our 2D MACD, and we got the dump to the downside, right? But the 3D is basically keeping the bulls alive. Okay, in my opinion, right, that's the only thing right now keeping the bulls alive, right? You could look at it differently. Once again, we will talk about the channel and all that good stuff for Leroy Leroy Jenkins, right? So you could take a look at it in terms of channel, but as long as the MACD right here, and I've been saying it since like the last week of February. Okay, I was saying as long as this guy, okay, is not crossing negative, right, we could be in a very tight range, meaning like BTC could just be in this range of 43 to 46 down to like a 34 34k down to a 33k, meaning like you could even draw it in terms of like a parallel channel right here, like that. You see? So if you want to ignore this guy, right, you could draw it like that. Yes, it pumped to the upside, but it was not a continuation, so you can still draw it parallelly, right? So and include your wicks. These are not wicks, okay? These are not wicks, because they only wicks on a daily basis. But if you take a look at it on a 6-hour basis, these candles, right, they were full body candles. Okay, this was a full body candle, so it's not a wick. A wick cannot get like, you cannot get like a 6-hour dump and then call it a wick. You see what I'm saying? If you take a look at it right here, and I showed you back in late January, I told you like it is going to retest the 1 hour 100 EMA back then right here before dumping and pushing back up, and that's exactly what it did. But it wasn't a wick. Okay, you can't get a wick on a 6-hour candle, meaning like, yes, you can get a wick on a 6-hour candle, but what I'm saying is like, if the 6-hour candle close with a, you know, let's say 75-80% body candle, you cannot call it a wick. Okay, because some people are going to be like, okay, the daily 21, we got some wicks and all that good stuff right there. Yes, if you take a look at it on the daily, you know, you try to call it a wick, but it is not a wick, because you have to basically go dip down, you know, dip down into the lower degree to see what happened in that range. Okay, and that's what I was saying back then. I remember saying like, as long as the 6-hour time frame is positive, right, it will be hard to get a big dump. Okay, it will be hard to get a big dump. So, and that's what happened right here. Okay, after we pushed to the upside, and then basically try to dump, the 6-hour basically flip positive, right? Excuse me. Okay, and right here we got a, you know, crazy dump, flip negative, and pushed right back up. Okay, so let's go back to the 3D. So just to recap the 3D time frame, right, the MACD got to cross bearish, okay, to give bears a very confident you know, a very confident trade setup for a continuation to the downside. Yes, it is still bearish, okay, but the 3D time frame right here got to cross negative. If not, you know, it could do something like that, and that could be a pump to the upside. We don't know if that pump will take out the 47, 48, but if it pushes above the histogram, it means that bulls could be getting a short-term pushback up. Okay, but that's going to be a different topic. We will talk about it later on, because we're still below the 3D 21 EMA, right? So we just discussed the 2D time frame, and that's what we said during our last live stream. Okay, if we cross negative right here, that's going to be game on. Okay, and if we stay negative for like 4 to 6 days, right, and continuously making like low lows, the 3D time frame will be forced to cross negative. You see what I'm saying? So keep that in mind, right? So I think that is it. I'm just gonna keep it very simple today, all the way down to the 2D, right? Let's take a look at the daily. So daily time frame, we got all these moving averages crossing negative, right? Last time they crossed negative was like after we broke out below 52.7. Okay, after we took out 52.7, if you guys recall, that's when we did what? We went all bearish all the way down to 35. Okay, so now we're crossing negative. MACD, it is still negative right here, so I don't see any strong reversal yet, even down to the daily time frame. Okay, daily 2D 3D price action are still above the 21, so we could basically just stay with this range until we get a daily reversal. But as of now, the daily time frame, you know, it is still pointing down. Okay, so if you like to use your closing basis, you know, you can use your closing basis, but just keep something in mind, right? These are not wicks. Okay, these are not wicks. Okay, they part of they are part of the entire trend. Okay, you got to include these, right? You got to include these. Okay, so because once again, it doesn't matter if you're analyzing the monthly time frame, you cannot ignore those wicks, right? Because you're saying, hey, remember, we got a retest of the monthly 21 EMA right here. Okay, monthly 21 EMA, monthly 21 EMA. So those are not wicks. Okay, they were just a retest of the monthly 21 and a pushback up to close above it. And if you remember what happened back in February, the February pump, right? It pumped like 20%, right, in like one day just to close above the monthly 21, but price action was nearly below the monthly 21, and in less than 24 hours, right, it just pumped to close above like you know 43 to 44k. Okay, hopefully you guys remember what happened back in February, because it doesn't matter if you're a moon boy or not, it's only like 2 months away, right? It was only 2 months ago, not away, right? Hey, what's up, David? ZX in the house. Thanks a lot for tuning in, man. Jude Moonboy, Mr. XRP 589. Thanks a lot for tuning in. quite cooking hot in the kitchen. Thanks a lot for tuning in, man. Quite cooking hot sauce in the kitchen. All right, so let me see if you guys want to talk about anything else. Right, it is already 30 minutes. If you guys want to talk about so let me know what you think about BTC. Are you waiting for the monthly 50, or you know, are you basically you know, waiting for a retest of 60k, 70k, whatever? Okay, a pump to 70k and all that good stuff. What is your trading plan, right, for the next like a few weeks? And once again, I'm not talking about like on an hourly basis and all that good stuff, right? Let's go ahead and take a look at the 6 hour time frame. So the 6 hour time frame, we're just retesting the 6 hour 21 EMA right there. Okay, the MACD, it is positive, so even if it dumps right here, I see a potential sideways correction until we cross negative. Okay, again, all right, so it could be a three-way move right here, right? Another three-way move down, another three-way move up. So it could be in this range for the next like a few days. So who knows, all right? Because MACD just crossed bullish right here, so the volatility got to increase over the next like a few days to get a very impulsive move. Right there, it almost created a flat, right? But it wasn't, right? It created you know, you could call it just a wedge, right? But it did not push all the way up because the 1 hour 100 EMA was right at 43.8, something like that. So it prevented the price to retest like the 44. Okay, but you get the concept. So same type of you know, area of resistance, which is the 21 EMA on our 6 hour basis, right? So yes, in terms of trend resistance on the 6 hour, it broke the trend line resistance, but it hasn't yet started a new uptrend trend line like that. Okay, so you don't know if it will do something like that and then basically follow a new trend over the next like a few months. That would be a bullish setup until we break the trend line again, right? Like what happened right here. Okay, broke the trend line right there, right? But we will discuss this. We will discuss it once we get a new uptrend trend line. Because if we get a new uptrend trend line support on our side, alt will pump. Okay, alt will pump. But most of the time, once again, you don't get your big pump when RSI is like, let's say below 45, below 40. All right, you get your big moves right when RSI is like above the 50. Okay, so the entire range right here could just be a consolidation, right? Range. If we're going to go up, okay, for the RSI to build up a good momentum, and then bang, we're going to get the big move, right? Breakout above resistance and all that good stuff. So just have to be patient, right? And not basically be panicking on every single candle, right? So let's take a look at the 12-hour time frame, right? So 12 hour, it is still negative, right? We got all the moving averages crossing negative, right? The 12 hour 21, it is right around like a 42. So if we get an exaggerated pump, right, the 42.3 resistance is right here. Okay, and it is a constant resistance, right? Even if it backtests since like the first week of January, right there, right here, another one right there, a temporary support right here. Okay, I mean, we did not talk about it in terms of Fibonacci, but if you draw a swing low to swing high, that region of 39.8 was actually the 50% pullback. Okay, 0.618 going to be at 38, So but this is going to be a different analysis, because remember, sometimes you might be looking at the monthly, but the noise on the lower degree, right, could basically be very, very intense, right? Meaning like this guy could be doing something like that, okay, like that, okay, until it capitulates down, right? So something to basically keep in mind, because we got our 0.618 at 38k, give or take 38.1. Okay, that's going to be the next support, right there, right there. Okay, all right. So now let's go ahead and move on to Ethereum, because I'm bearish on Ether, right? I'm starting to be bearish again on Ether. So Ether, it has a very, very simple analysis. Okay, I try not to do anything I try not to over analyze Ether, right? Just trying to analyze it as easy as possible and just stay with the trend, right? So Ether, it does have a nice flat correction on a 3D basis, okay, on a 3D or even down to the 2D, right? So but unlike BTC, right, this guy 2D MACD, it is not crossing negative yet. It did cross below the trend line support on our 2D basis, but the most important thing for it is like, yes, it is a flat correction. Okay, we're not getting yet a confirmation of the 2D basis, but if the Ether, let's say right now the Ether dominance is almost at 20%, okay, and forming a three-way move at the same time, right? If BTC is to retest like 33, 34, whatever, the Ether price action will have to follow, okay, regardless. I don't see BTC dropping 10% and Ether pumping 10%, okay? I just don't see it. So it means like Ether will pump 20% against BTC, right? So you see what I'm saying? So if Ether USD pumps 10% and BTC USD dumps 10%, right, it means Ether BTC pumps 20%. So I don't see like the Ether BTC price action pumping like 20%. Okay, I just don't see it, right, as of now. Okay, it could be a week, maybe 1 second week and all that good stuff, right? But I just don't see as of now, right, the Ether price action just pumping like 20%, okay, above like a 0.089 out of nowhere. Okay, so if we go back to the Ether price action, clean flat correction right here, you could call it WXY, but I think just saying a flat correction is much easier, right? So and you will follow the original trend, which is what we said back in December. Okay, dump right here. Okay, three-way move right here. We showed it also at 3150 all the way down to 23. Okay, all the way down to 2300 rand, and now it pushed back up. At first I was bearish right here with the internal flat correction, was thinking like this flat correction right here going to be the continuation, but it ended up being the bigger one right there. Okay, so let's see if Ether bears will show up to validate the flat correction right here. So sometimes flat correction, they can be very challenging, right? Let's say you got a move like that, right? Sometimes you just don't know, right, if this move right here was a C wave. You don't know if that move is just a C wave, right? Or if this move, right, it is a new wave, like that move right there was wave 1, right? That's your wave 1 right here, wave 2, and you're looking for wave 3 to the upside, and possibly wave 4 and 5 later on. You see what I'm saying? So it is very challenging. It can be very challenging, right? when you get sometimes a double top, double bottom. So that's why I keep saying sometimes the MACD negative crossover can basically initiate a potential reversal, because you're looking for a reversal. You're not looking, I'm not looking for like Ether dropping down here, you know, and doing something like that and go up. I'm looking for a complete reversal like that. Yes, it can do all kind of crazy, you know, all kind of crazy price action along the way, but we don't care about the timing. Okay, the time it takes to get down to, you know, the target. Do you see what I'm saying? Right? So kind of like what happened right here. Okay, so let's say you were looking for Ether, you know, Ether dropping down to 1500. I'm just giving a random number, right? You can say Ether dumped down to a 2200 range, but take a look at the sideways correction right here. That's what you call a flat correction, or a, you know, an intermediate correction, right? But your target could get hit later on. So your directional move, it is still correct, but the timing, you know, it takes to get to your directional target is, you know, just took longer. Okay, so it wasn't a complete impulsive move, right? So but once again, I'm not saying Ether will drop down to 1500. We're just looking for the July support. Okay, July price is 1800 range. Okay, if it takes out 36, 37, that could be, you know, a potential wave 3 to the upside. Okay, instead of ABC, it could be a potential wave 3, you know, by breaking the let's say the resistance right here, and now you're going to be like, oh, now this is a wave 3. Okay, we're most likely going to push high. Okay, but we will see. All right. Hey, what's up, Strengths? Thanks a lot for tuning in, man. Strengths in the house. All right, I think we're good with BTC. Okay, so you guys don't have any question regarding any alt. So BTC and Ether. So one more thing regarding Ether, right? The weekly 25 MA, right? I know it sounds weird. When I say 25 MA. So, but if you recall a few weeks ago, right, we talked about the weekly 25 MA back in, you know, early. We started, I mean, we've been talking about it, you know, since like 2020 and all that good stuff, but I just tried to, I reminded you like regarding the weekly 25 MA a few weeks ago, right? So Ether just hit that resistance, okay? It just hit that resistance, and it needs to take out the weekly 25 MA for any bull uptrend. I'm not talking about like 10%, 20%. I'm talking about like 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50x, right? Possibly. But you get the concept. A bull run, like what happened right here between $200 all the way up to nearly $5,000, stuff like that. Okay, we will at least need to take out the moving average right here. That's our weekly 25 MA. Okay, so you know, even Ether on a macro view, you could be very patient, right? If you want to look at it in terms of the monthly basis, you could be, you could be patient, right? Because if we break the monthly 220 EMA, that could be ugly, okay, until we get back above the monthly 220 EMA for Ether. As you can see right here, the retest of the monthly 21 back in April 2018, right? It pumped back up nearly, over 140%, right? In like less than, 30 days and all that good stuff, right? So 30, let's say 4 to 6 weeks, right? It pumped over 130%. Right now, we got a support. We did get a support from the monthly 21 and pushed back up, above the 35, 36, right? So if we break it, right, we could be just following BTC and retesting the monthly 50, okay? We just don't have enough history for the monthly 50, but we just going to really, stay with the monthly 21 on the higher time frame for Ether, okay, until we get back above it. So anything below the monthly 21, if you're looking for a 2 to 3 years outlook for Ether, it is definitely going to be a good buy, and not try to try to pick the bottom, okay. And I said it back in September when Ether was right around like $300, $400. I was like, guys, let's not be bearish on Ether. Sake is pretty bullish, so don't short it. Just accumulate it right here. Just accumulate it right here. Don't short it, okay? All right, so guys, you guys don't have any question regarding any other alt? That's good. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at a ZEC USDT. So so for Craig, right? So ZEC, it's been moving like in 3 waves, right? That's the type of flat correction I tried to explain to you guys regarding BTC retesting of the entire 30k, right? And even don't break it and still could possibly give us another 3-way move once we retest like the 30k support, right? But we don't know. We will wait till we retest at least 30k to start like speculating. But the move we got right here for Zcash right now, you could look at it as a 3-way move, right? A WXY correction. And if the MACD on a 2D basis has already crossed negative right here, okay, so it looks like we could get a continuation if this move is done, okay. So that could be the impulsive move, that could be your correction, and we could get this move to break the $90 support. However, as I just said, right, this move right here could also be a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 waves. Could form something like that. All right, could form something like that. But since like the 2D MACD is already negative, right? That could it is possible for the trend to basically to be over, right? Meaning like 214 could be the temporary top, right? And it could be retesting the lows right here, and even do something like that, and another move like that, and still push to the upside if it doesn't want to break the support area right here and create a bigger flat correction right here, retest the bottom, and then pushes to the upside. That's possible, like what happened right here. You can see what happened right there, right? You got a 3-way move, another 3-way move. This one you could even call it a 3-way move down here. So it's just been moving like in 3 waves basically, okay. Another good example is like what happened right here. Right there, you can see like it dumped right here, right? I think I talked about Zcash back then when Zcash created this flat correction right here, and I was like, okay, it's gonna dump, but it created an expanded flat, retest the bottom, pump to the upside, and still retested the bottom for like the 4th time before pushing to the upside, okay. But the initial flat was right there, okay. It's kind of like what I just drew right here, right? Retest, 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 retest. But I'm just speculating. It doesn't have to print this pattern like that, right? But overall, right, on a weekly basis, that's the most apparent pattern right there, the flat correction right there, okay. Hey, what's up, Phipps? Thanks a lot for tuning in, man. Phipps Moon Boy. All right, guys, so I'm just gonna cut it short, right? Be safe out there, and let's take a look at something for BTC. thing I forgot to talk about the so I forgot to talk about the 200 MA on a 2-day basis. I think I discussed it in the first 5 minutes of the live stream, right? So I don't use it a lot. I just keep an eye on it, right? But on what I mean, I don't use it a lot. I don't basically talk about it like in my live update and all that good stuff, right? But I keep an eye on it. The 200 MA on the 2D basis, right, was the support range right there back in 2021, July 2021. That's where we bottom at, and got another bottom right here at 40K the first week of December, and it seems like that's where we just got rejected at. It could be the final top if BTC is to create a three-way move below the moving average right here on the 2D basis. Right here we got a support added, right? Support right around the 200 MA on the 2D basis, 2019, and created a three-way move also. Okay, right there got a small, I mean, we did not absolutely retest it, but was close enough. Dumped below it, retested right here in July 2018 before continuing the downtrend. Okay, so is it going to be the same, is it going to be the same pattern where BTC just going to not break above the 200 MA on on a 2D basis, right, and all that good stuff? If we basically even backtest it since like 2014, you can see right there, retested it, push to the upside in a three-wave move, right? 1, 2, and 3. Okay, we got 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and dump to the downside with a three-way move again, but did not push all the way up to the 200 MA. Okay, the only difference is like right now we pushed all the way up back to the 200 MA. That's the only difference, right? So keep an eye on it, the 200 MA on a 2D basis, right? It is not a short-term short-term tool you want to be using every day, but you want to use it like for pivot points, like in the next like a few months, few years, right, for another support, right, and all that good stuff. Like what happened right here in 2019, right? Support at 7,000, right? It pushed it upside back to 10,000. Right here, support right around like 8,000, 9,000, right? Back in 2020, and then basically it just said goodbye, right? Hey, what's up, Nibra? Thanks a lot for tuning in. Hey, you're welcome, Craig. Thanks. Hey, what's up, Cannibal Wealth? Thanks a lot for tuning in. So vet. So let's take a look at VET BTC. So VET BTC, if you're accumulating VET BTC, I mean, not financial advice, but if you're accumulating VET BTC, for the macro view, you could be looking for the 100 sats to 90 sats, right? That's going to be the next reaccumulation range. Okay. So we talked about it when Zcash was at 100 sats, and Zcash pumped back up to like 500 sats. Okay, so VET, it is in a channel. So if let's take a look at the weekly MACD. So weekly MACD already crossed bullish, so that's a good sign. Okay, so that's a good sign. Good, but we needed the weekly MACD to cross bullish like back in December, but it refused to cross bullish. That pattern was much more aggressive than the current pattern. Okay, So next resistance for VET, you know, you're looking forward to break like 500 sats and potentially push all the way up to 1000 sats, but it could take a while. Okay, I don't think it will be a one shot. So still a good hold if you're accumulating. Once again, not financial advice. If you're accumulating VET for the, you know, for the next few months or years, it's been doing great since like 2019. If you just follow you know, follow it, right, and buy the dips and, you know, be patient with it. Okay, it's been doing well, and I said it back in January 20 actually November 2020, after we hit like right around like 60 sats. I was saying, guys, it is time to buckle up. Okay, so still a good hold, you know. Buckle up if it, you know, hits like, you know, 100 sats, right, and all that good stuff, and be patient. You could get, you know, a good move. Okay, we just don't want to break below 100 sats, 90 sats range, because our next support will be somewhere around like nearly 50 sats. So something to basically keep in mind, right, just in case it fails to follow the support trend line right here and having to retest the previous reaccumulation range right there. But these guys are crazy. You might be saying, oh, I'm gonna wait for it to hit like 100 sats and 50, and this guy just going, I'm gonna sell right now and wait for, you know, 100 sats and 50, and this guy just gonna give you a, you know, 400% move, and you're gonna be like, man, I should have just waited, right? And by the time you're waiting, you know, by the time you decide if you're going to wait to buy again and all that good stuff, this guy could take like another 12 months, okay, or even 1 year, I mean 1.5 years, right, to retest your price level again. Okay, so I would just suck it up, not financial advice, and be patient with it. So VChain definitely could hit like a, you know, 40 billion, 50 billion market cap in the next like a bull run. So all right, guys, I'm just gonna call it a day, right? Thanks a lot for tuning in, right? Be safe out there. Make sure to you know, join the public Telegram group. If you're looking to join some crypto premium, you can basically just send me a message and all that good stuff. Okay, all right, guys, thanks a lot.